Where is it? I shouldn't. Yeah, there you go. Okay, all right. Hi, hello everyone. Welcome. I'm very happy to connect with you, and yeah, let's do it. Let me see. Okay, everything is all right. Is it working? Is it working? I guess so. Yes, it's working. And here, well, here it's not working, obviously. Well, I hope you are having, that you are fine, that you're well, that you are great, and you're having, well, a great moment wherever you are, and yeah, whatever, right? In your moment, that in your moment everything is great. So I'm a little bit behind. I'm a little bit out of it. I have been doing a lot of things, but centered on me, and so I haven't been paying a lot of attention to what is going on online and anywhere in the world. Also because nothing really is going on, right? I don't need to pay attention. And things happen anyway, anywhere, and it's out there, right? It's stuff is going on, but that is not the center of my concern, because that is not mine now, right? It's like reading a book. You don't need to be concerned about what is coming in the next page. It's coming anyway. You're gonna read it. So things do happen, and you just let them happen. So let me see. Right. Hi. Hello, Roxy. Long time not see. Well, I don't know actually. Yeah. So, and I haven't been doing lives the last days because I felt that I felt things that I often, I feel, and this is something that I've been feeling as long as I can remember, which is, it's, I could say, emotional. A surge of feeling emotions, but it's not exactly that. It's more about, I'd say, love. It's called love. Not human love. So not that love, that emotion, right? That it's shared between two people or whatever, right? It's that unconditional love. It can be overwhelming in the feeling of it, because, well, we are not built exactly into it, right? The human experience is the love that we experience between people, between that love, or the emotion. This is not the emotion, this is the state, but it's such a wonderful feeling, but also not that human. So it's just the way it is, and I can't explain it because yeah, we can't explain those things. It's just that they are there, and as humans, we are able to feel those things that are not human. We are able to have those experiences that are not really built as that. We can go into those states, right? It's We are not cut off of ourselves. We still are ourselves, the global self, the whatever we want to call it. So yeah, we have those things. It's not our experience of not being God doesn't mean that we are not God. It's simply that we have forgotten. So the forgotten is not a permanent state. So we can have all of those things that are godly. We can have those things. We cannot hold them permanently, but we absolutely can relate to that. And we can express those things, moments that we have. And we all have those things, dream state or moments that we do not remember and that we do not feel that we have. Well, we are having those things. It's always there. We are, and I think that, and that is what, right? We cannot perceive ourselves because we believe that we are less than. That is, our belief system. We are less than, so we are not worthy of those things that we perceive as godly, even though then when we try to define God, we make God really very human. We do. We have created all of this mythology of beings that are so superior to us, with powers and with this and with that, and then in fact they are nothing but humans having human experiences, and that is fascinating because it's just what we do. It has to be human because that's the only thing that we understand. We do not understand not human because we are humans. And I noticed that that is one of the things that is so difficult to understand, generally speaking, that when you try to communicate, to see things that are challenging the human, that are perceived as godly, as you have to let go of any idea of human and accept that they are not. So that whatever you perceive in that, right? Communications, channeling, communications, vision, and whatever, it's human. So it's you perceiving that. It's you giving yourself a story. It's not, right? When you say, oh, I've seen a fairy, I've seen a Pleiadian, I've seen a Octurian, I've seen a being. You have seen what you have seen. You haven't seen them, you have seen the interpretation of them, the human interpretation. You cannot know what they are. But you do not have to go and take beings that are not human. You do not know how your partner, you don't know them. You don't see them. You see your interpretation of them, right? When I see myself, I see an interpretation of myself, the way I feel, the way I decide to see myself, the way I decide to express myself, but that is not me as the global me. That is a projection, you see. And here we are into, well, the interpretation. We are seeing what is the illusion, what is, right, the external, the externalization, and then what is the internal. The internal is not what is the external. We are influenced by what we project, and the way we are built tend to give to bring us into giving all the credit to what we are perceiving with our eyes, and not what we are perceiving with our other senses. That tells us another story, a story completely different from that is projected. Because our eyes are not seeing, our eyes are the illusion of seeing, because this is projected inside of me, inside of us. And the story I'm telling myself is that my eyes are seeing. And so the value that I give to that I am seeing becomes overwhelming everything else. So that when I'm feeling, when I perceive with other senses that are telling me another story, I have a resistance in giving equal status to all of those other senses. So that the illusion becomes stronger. It's an illusion, right? Obviously. And we forget that there is something else inside of us. And maybe that is our forgetting ourselves. What that is the giving more weight to that external thing that brings us away from ourselves, from what we are. Because what we are is not moving, it's not changing, it's there, it's always there. We are always expressing ourselves. I'm always expressing myself, and I am always expressing myself in so many ways, in so many ways. I am here. Sometimes I'm even forgetting that I am here. I open my eyes, I'm surprised. Is it here? Is this it? Oh, yeah, I remember, right? Because I was not focusing, I was away. But you see, that's the thing, is that my senses were telling me a story that was, I'm not here, until I open my eyes and the external world appears, and suddenly I doubt my other senses that were telling me that I was somewhere else. And that's what we do. We'd open our eyes and we realize, oh, there I am here. Oh, yeah, I remember this place. This is human. And so human takes over, and external, oh, I don't remember. All right, this is what it is. But the feelings are there, right? And then the question is, do you trust your other senses? Do you trust your feelings, your perception, not feeling, perception, that something was happening? And then, right, the problem we have is that, where is the memory of that? Where is the memory of being elsewhere? And that obviously is what makes this more difficult. I don't know. Can I prove that I was somewhere else? No, I can't. Can I prove that there is somewhere else? Can I prove that there are other beings on Earth that we cannot see? No. Can I prove that there are other places, other planets, other beings that we cannot see but that are there? No, I can't. Can I prove that the planets that we see as empty, that they may have beings that simply, or that they are in a certain way because we are interpreting them in that way, and that maybe there is, or not maybe, but that there is life on those planets that we simply cannot see because it vibrates in a different way. But we don't need to go far away. There is so much that on Earth we can't see because it vibrates differently than us. Because Earth already exists in many vibrations, and so many vibrations are expressed on Earth right now. And I may be interacting with those vibrations at any moment without knowing it consciously, but knowing it because obviously when you interact with something, with a being, or you always know it. But that's the inside. That's the part that you have to trust. That's what your other senses are telling you. But that's the part that you do not trust because you can't see it. It's not projected. It's not in the illusion. It's another side, another part. It's something that is not perceived by the eyes. And I see the eyes, right? They say, oh, the eyes are the mirror of the soul, something like that. No, the eyes are the mirror of the illusion, are the expression of the illusion. is the center of the illusion, because that's where you have that sense that you prioritize over anything else. Even though obviously the eyes are not really seeing anything, because this is projected, but it's projected in that way that we believe that it comes from the eyes. And look, that is the way we express humans. So it's even not important to this, right? The illusion, this eyes not seeing, it's not important, because it's the way we work, the way we create the illusion, and we are expressing it, and it doesn't matter, right? But still we need to grow up as a species into the understanding of what we are. And talking about this, I'm not changing anything, right? I'm not changing. I'm using my eyes. You are using your eyes. We are still creating this in this way. This is the human expression. It's not gonna change. But there is a need to evolve ourselves. And in order to evolve ourselves, we have to understand ourselves. We have to accept ourselves and accept the way we function as human beings. And so that expressing the illusion, saying, look, this is an illusion, external. What I feel is the need of bringing everything back in the inside, right? So exercising the internalization, so the exercise of every other sense that we have, the perception that we have inside, because that's where we are able in the inside to feel, to perceive things differently. If I only accept what I am seeing as real, then that means that I am externalizing reality completely and immersing myself in an illusion, which is a way of existing. It works. It works. Absolutely. It works. However, it remains an illusion. It's an experience, and it remains that illusion that is not allowing the internal perception that we have of being perceived by the human. So it's cutting completely, right? It's like taking a distance from the self. Again, you can live your life that way. You can create, it's still creation, because that's what we are. We are creator beings. So if you decide to have the experience, because that experience of perceiving the external and to accept the external as real is an experience. It's a human experience. It's a creation. It's decided as being like that. The being says, this is what I want. I want to immerse myself into the illusion. So that's what it's done. So it's expressed in that way. I am choosing differently. And many others are choosing differently. Some are trying to are searching for something. They perceive that there is something different, that it's not exactly expressed in that illusion, and they are sensing something different in their inside. However, they have no clue. No one of us has any clue, right? But that is also why immersing yourself into the illusion is so easy, is because you can prove the illusion, because the illusion is happening there. It's happening. So you have that proof of reality. So that is the easiest way to go. It's there. It's proven. There. Right? The table is there. Do you see it? This is real. This is so physical. Yeah. So I can believe in the table. It's there. It's happening. Yes. That is one way to go. However, there are people that then nevertheless perceive things completely differently. And they say, well, yes, this is my reality. The physicality is there. However, inside of me, I do feel something else. I don't know what the something else is. Can't prove it. And sometimes I'm seeing things that are not there, or sometimes I have the impression of something different, and then I open my eyes or I turn my, and it's not there. But we don't know. And so some people try to find the answer to that, and that answer can be religion. Religion has a mystic, has a way of bringing a answer, right? Or trying to, or who knows? But what we are perceiving right now is that that religion doesn't really bring answers. More questioning, more questions, more of, I want to know, I don't understand, right? That is that people are left by that should give you answers, just more wondering, what is this? What I am, or what am I? Am I really that? Why this? Why that? Right? And so they try to find to look elsewhere, and sometimes elsewhere is a what they call a cult. And I love that, because when people that were in a cult and come out to talk, they seem to talk about religion, to make the difference between religion and cult. And I always say there is no difference. It's absolutely the same. Because religion is a cult. And it doesn't matter how many people are in that religion. It's a cult. It's something that is selling something that is not there. It's an illusion. Is trying and a religion, or a cult, but they are all cult, are always saying they are always sold in a certain way, and there is what indoctrination. There is the main religions don't give you a choice. You are indoctrinating into it as an infant. And my question there is, then why indoctrinating children into a religion? Why don't you wait until the child can choose? But you can't do that, because if you don't indoctrinate the child, who will follow any religion when they are grown up, if they are not indoctrinating as children into believing into something. So you have to indoctrinate the child. So it's indoctrination. But as you can see, is that there are people that choose cult as adults. But that is always a search for something. It's the questioning, and it's what those that I've been listening that have been in cults, they say they entered the cult because the cult were selling good things. They wanted to do good things for the world. They wanted to save the world. So that is something that every religion is saying. So it's not right. They say, oh no, Christianism is selling exactly the same thing as other religions. They do it differently, yes. And it's funny because they say, oh, look, the difference between Scientology and other stuff like that is that these cults have a way of trying to destroy or to everyone that leave them. Christianism, Islam, Buddhism, whatever, they don't do that. If you want to leave, you leave. And it's funny for me because they say, well, maybe today, maybe now, but in the religion history, in the medieval, in other times, they were not as forgiving as now. So don't just forget that these religions have evolved, because you cannot compare something that is just now, right? Just coming out now, a cult that is being created with something that has been evolving, right? With something that has not evolved. We're not there, right? And so it's too easy to say, oh, this cult is doing this, is bad. This religion is not as bad because they are not doing that. Same thing. They have done it. They have. And don't condone all the killing that have been done in the name of those religions, right? The idea of that is still very well. But, right? So these religions are not giving answers. You try a cult, the cult is not giving an answer, and it becomes even more heavy in the construct of the cult, because then the cult is just trying to hold, right? But every religion, so every cult is doing that. So we are now in a moment in time where we are opening our eyes in regards of these belief systems that are the belief systems. That's why they are all cults in the idea, and there is no difference between cult or religion, even though we make a semantic difference, but there isn't. It's the same energy, it's the same thing. You have to believe in it, and you have to go into it with the fact that you have to believe that what is written in this book, what is scripture, is true. You have to believe in a God that you have never seen and that is promising you so much, and you believe in it. And then when I come to you and I say to you, well, there is something else, you tell me, no, that's not true. When I come to you and I say, oh, there is extraterrestrial life. Oh, there is not true. We have never seen it. Well, have you seen your God? No, you have never seen your God. So how is it that you believe in that blindly? Because you have a book that says, oh, this is the religion, and when there is something that, oh, there is something else, oh no, I don't believe that, oh no, When you have a healer that comes, oh, you can't heal, only God can heal. And have you ever seen God healing anyone? No, you haven't. But you believe that that God that you have never seen can heal, and you don't believe that a human being can heal? So you see, these are belief systems. But this is also why there is such movement of not understanding these situations and feeling things are different. There is something different out there. There is how is it? And so the questioning is still there, and the questioning doesn't find a answer in a cult or religion, if you want, if you prefer. But it's a cult. And so in that, what happens is you have new religions, new cults that are created very often. Many of those disappear very quickly. It's a belief of 1 hour, 1 day, and then they go away. And you have others that maybe are staying for longer. But you may have 1, 2, 3 people that are staying there, and sometimes it can become bigger and it's cold, and then it goes the way it goes. Who cares? But right, it's a way to try to find answers, or to give answer, or to externalize the answer, because a religion cult is externalization again, externalizing reality. That is what it is. It's a tool that we have been using. It works. And again, it goes back to externalizing and being taken into the illusion of the externalization. Religion is part of that, and you can live your life with that. Whether I say it's a cult, or whether I say it's BS or not, it doesn't matter. That is my perception. That is what it is. No one has to follow what I say. That's how I see religion, right? But the questioning and the looking for answer is still there. And the illusion of the externalization, right? When you you try to find the answer outside. That's the first thing that we do. The answer is somewhere out there. Where do I find it? How can I find it? So, just a second. Oh, that's a big hat. Well, how many screens do you have? There's a lot of me there. Yeah. So you, we have this first thing, because that is what we train ourselves, right, into going, is that it's outside. It's there. So it's not the first thing we do, it's not going inside. The first thing we do, it's going outside. Until we realize that the more we go outside, the more we may be in the illusion, but the less we find answers. The less we find what? Ourselves. Because I am not out there. There is no me out there. I am inside of me. I am here. I am completely here. And there is so much of me here. This body is a projection of me, a interpretation of me, but it's not all of me. It's an image. And I'm so much more than this body, as you are, every one of us, so much more. But that so much more is not expressed out there, it's expressed inside. And then we could even I could take you even a step forward and ask you, but is there any out there? Because this is projected. Oh yeah, that's true, it's a projection, but isn't this my creation, my interpretation? So is this really out there? Well, yes and no. Yes, it's out there. If I put it out there, it is. But the truth is that there is no out there. So this cannot be out. This is inside. It's always inside. But then my belief system, my perception put it out. So what is perceived as externalization, it's not the externalization of reality. There is nothing out there. It's still inside. It remains a belief system. So this belief system goes through, as I said, let's say through the eyes that are seeing the reality out there, but there is nothing out there. That's why I was saying, well, the eyes are seeing nothing because they cannot see, because there is nothing out there. But then it means that this is the construction of this, the construction of this reality. It goes through that. So when I perceive this, I understand, and understanding is even not important, but nevertheless, but when I feel and I give credit to what I feel, to my perception inside of me, and that I say, well, there is something that I don't understand. Is this perception of reality, what I'm seeing there? But then what about what I perceive inside of me? Those other feelings, I perceive them inside, right? Oh, again, inside. We are expressing as humans, so I am expressing this as human, inside. And inside, I close my eyes and I start seeing things. I start having other perceptions that come in, because I may not see right now, but I see that, I perceive that things are still going on. There are things that are happening, even though I am not seeing, inside of me. And when I close my eyes, I even perceive it stronger, more, because I'm not focusing my attention into what my eyes are seeing. My attention is going inside right now, so that I can perceive something else. And I may even see not what is I know is out there, because I was just watching before, so I have an idea of what is projected out there. But suddenly I see things that are not there. How is it that I'm seeing things that are not there? Then I must have other senses, other perceptions, other stuff that is going on, but they are not linked with my eyes. What is that? Illusion? I can easily, yes, we can easily say illusion. Do I take it as an illusion? Do I allow it to be an illusion? It's a choice. Yes, I can go with it's an illusion. It's fantasy. Oh, right, okay. It's fantasy. Or I can go with I don't know. Maybe it's something else. Maybe, but I don't know. If I say it's an illusion, I'm not saying it's an illusion from the knowing of it. I'm saying it's an illusion because I don't know. But I don't want to admit I don't know. So I have to assign it to something which is fantasy. Again, it's a choice and it works. Or I simply admit I don't know. There is something else. And I start accepting that it's different from whatever the illusion is. And I may even wonder, maybe that is more real than what I am seeing. Who knows? I don't know. And I realized that admitting I don't know is very hard. We prefer the illusion. We prefer assigning things, giving name to things, than to say, I don't know. We have names for everything. Everything receives a name. Because that's better than just say, I don't know. What is this? I don't know. And I don't know doesn't mean that I don't know. It means as a human, I can't tell you what that is. Because that is something that a human can't tell. So I have to find an answer, and that answer is inside. And so when I go inside and I accept that is in there, and I dig into it, and I allow it to express. So I give as much weight to what I am seeing as projected outside and to what I feel inside. When I do that, suddenly I evolve into something else. I evolve into the knowing. I know the inside. I know myself. The knowing is not outside. The knowing is inside. That is the huge difference between the indoctrination or the going to school, being educated, being told what to do, what to believe. Because in school, you are told what to believe. You are not taught truth. You are not given proofs. You are given belief systems. That's what is created in schools. And again, living your life in the illusion, it works. What you learn in a school works because you make it work, because the belief system works. We are using belief systems, and what we receive there is making the illusion working because we do, right? We create it. So it's not wrong, right? It's not, you can do that. It works. And there are many people that can testify it works, right? But still, it's the indoctrination into a belief system or many belief system where one can externalize and stay there. It's a choice of doing that, right? It's the experience. Now we are into another experience. We're into the experience of the discovering of the self, the discovering of me. And that's the internal. That's inside. You cannot discover yourself outside because you do not exist outside of you. You exist inside of you. That's where you are. That's where you are, inside. So you go inside and you discover yourself. That is what you know when you go inside. So you enter into the knowing. But the knowing is not proof. The knowing remains, I don't know. Because it's not a truth. Because a truth is static. There is no evolution in a truth. It's something that human want to be proven and to be there as this is how it is. That's what it is said of those truths. This is how it is. It's always like that. I've proven this. Until there is someone that comes and says the opposite. And they say exactly the same thing. I can prove the opposite as a truth. And it's always like that. So it's not proven. It's not that thing, right? It's not. You cannot go through into the truth. Nevertheless, when you are inside of you, when you are focusing in the inside and giving weight to the inside, then you are into the knowing. Because you base it on what? On you. Because you discover it inside. It comes from you, inside of you. So you know it. It's different. Many of those things that people are repeating, or right, many of those things, they don't come from the knowing. When I work with people like Roxanne, like Nora, like Isabel, like Nikki, like Kimberly, when I work with those people, they are not teaching me. What they are doing is that we create for each other a space of knowing, right? We create a place of knowing that allows everyone to know themselves. So what I discover, what I suddenly understand, what appears, it's because I know it. It comes from my knowing, from my understanding, right? It's not teaching because it's not any of them coming to me saying, dimensions work like this. You have the third dimension that is the physical, the forgetful, and then you have the fourth dimension as a bridge that goes into fifth, and then the fifth is love, and the sixth is vibration, and the seventh is that. So you see, that's not That's not it. Because if you do that way, what are you doing? You're teaching what? What you don't know. If then I take that and I come to you and I repeat what I heard somewhere else, what am I doing? Teaching, putting you into a dependency of what I don't know. Because if I do that, I'm just telling you what I don't know because someone else told me that, right? You have, right? Do you see the difference? You will never hear me teaching about dimensions. Why? Because I don't know. What are them? I don't know. Have I been there? Oh, I exist in all dimensions, but as of me, the human, being able to express them, I'm not able. I don't know. Because I'm, as you are, expressing myself, the global self, in all dimensions, in all vibrations. But that doesn't mean that the human is able to see those things. Remember what I was saying in the beginning? The human only expresses the human expression, because the human is unable to see anything other than human, the human experience. So we humanize everything. The humble is going to say, I don't know, because I don't have the knowing of that, because I don't have the perception of that, because I don't have the words to express that. I may feel something about that, but I cannot tell you because I don't know. But it doesn't mean that I don't know that I am expressing all of those dimensions or all of those beings. I have many lives as a human. I have many lives as Pleiadian, as Octurian, as Andromedan, as many other beings. I have all of those expressions. So I know it. Can I tell you what that is? No, I can't. Because I am human, expressing human. And the transition between what is the illusion of the externalization into the knowing of the internal is the transition that says, I am this. And I don't need to define anything else. I don't need to know anything else, because there is anything else than me. This is me. So this is the expression. And trying to define anything is trying to define not me against me. So when I do that, I'm doing human, the externalization. And that is, again, the choice of the external. I haven't chosen that. I mean, I've been there. Now I have chosen differently. I've chosen to go and dig into the internal, into the I am. So that when I'm doing that, I'm not trying to discover what else. Because there is not what else. There is me. Me exist. I am here. I am. And so when I'm doing that, I don't need to know anything else. I don't need to try to define anything else, because I already am all of that. It's the knowing of the internal. It's the knowing of me. I already am. So I don't have to try to define myself, against anything else. I don't have to externalize myself because there is nothing outside. And the thing is that once you start doing it and that you discover yourself from the inside, then you know. And as I was saying before, I cannot teach you this. No one can teach you any of this. What we do, we create a space allowing this knowing to exist, to become, right? We create a space where that you already are can express itself. But when we do that, all we do is that. I cannot make you see the light. I cannot make you understand. I cannot make you anything. I only create a space for you to get to this state. Because that is yours, belongs to you, right? So that is why teaching doesn't work. It's because it's imposing. It's not the knowing. It's not something that comes from that's the externalization, right? When we teach history at school, it's talk, a lot of talk of things that the teacher has heard somewhere, probably at school, and that the teacher is repeating, not because the teacher knows, it's simply repeating the memory of those things. But is history what is taught at school? Certainly not. And I can prove that. Or I can give an idea of that. Why? Because the history that is taught is what? The point of view of the winner. But then if you give only the point of view of the winner, is that history? History is supposed to be what? To be telling us what happened in a certain moment in time. But if I have only the point of view of the winner, how can that be what happened in a certain moment in time? It isn't, because it's only a point of view. And how do we know that that is what happened? We don't. So then we have to go into the trust that is what it is. And then I will come back to what I was saying about religion. How can you believe that history is that is taught at school when you were not there? Well, as you right now, you're not there. You are here and now. You are not there when that history was happening. So do you believe that? You give weight to what that is? All right, good. So you believe that. Then why don't you believe that I can heal? You see? It's believing. It's always believing. It's putting things, but it's still external. And as it's always about putting beliefs, right? Okay. But this is only, right, to remind, what do you believe? How easy it is to believe what you are told to believe. So, do you believe in yourself? You believe in God, in a external God. You believe history. You believe science. You believe all those things that you have been told at school and the education and everything. Good. You give your trust on those things and you accept those things. So my question is simply, do you believe in yourself? You are so easily convinced that those things, right, again, talking generally, right? Human behavior, human experience of doing this, but right, that is so easy to believe, to accept, because, oh, I was told at school, it must be true. So I believe that. So my question comes back, do you believe in yourself? Do you believe in the self? Let me guess, they don't teach that at school. So I guess most humans will answer this question by no, I don't believe in myself. And many of those that say I don't believe in myself, they will say I believe in God. And I don't care. Right here we are in externalization. I don't care. They believe in a God they never saw. They only have to go and watch in the mirror and they can see themselves. So you can see you exist. But you believe, or generally believe easily in a God that you have never seen, but you do not believe in you, that you can see, well, you can see your image everywhere. Just have to have a mirror or something that can give that image, right? Yeah. So easy to believe what we are told, to be led, to be enslaved into something. So difficult to take a chance on the self, to go inside and discover ourselves. Well, again, that is a choice because it's not really difficult, but it can be difficult if you choose to make it difficult. It's it's a choice, and I have always seen how it is a choice. It is a choice. It is that many things are impossible, very difficult to do, and then I realize, well, if I choose to do it, I do it. Stop smoking. Oh, it's so hard. It's so hard. No, it isn't. Once you choose to stop, you stop. You'll find a way if you choose to. It's really a choice. And when you choose that, it's not difficult at all, unless you believe it is. Then it's a belief system. Yeah. So What do you discover when you go inside? You have to answer by doing it. What I discover? Unconditional love. The unconditional me. The unconditional love. And what I was saying before, the feeling, the things that are coming in me, that unconditional love, well, that is what that is. Because I accept that as me. Unconditional love. I accept that. So, right. There we are. This is it. Thank you for joining in. I'm very happy to connect with you and to have you here. I really do. And yes, I will see you in the next now. Oh, yeah. And tomorrow, so Sunday, we'll have a round table. It will be hosted by Isabel. So, attracting wisdom. And well, the topic is what the heck. So we'll see what that is. I'll be discovering it. And yeah, so if you want to join us tomorrow, it's gonna be the round table. And so I will be seeing you in the next now. I love you and thank you for joining in. Thank you, Roxy. Bye bye.